Welcome to the Global WarWatch Network. Today, we're unpacking a really monumental development, one that has pretty significant implications for international security and, well, the very future of warfare. The Pentagon just dropped a staggering $7.8 billion on cutting-edge missile systems. We're talking Lockheed Martin and RTX. And this isn't just for the U.S. military. A whole host of global allies are also set to receive these advanced weapons. So the big question we're exploring today is, what does this massive defense deal truly mean, for global security and the evolving landscape of future warfare? We're going to pull back the curtain on the details, dig into the capabilities of these new missiles, and analyze the strategic ripple effects of distributing them so widely. It's a move that really hints at how conflicts might be fought, maybe even prevented, in the years ahead.
Indeed. And it's crucial to understand this isn't merely a financial transaction you'd find on a ledger somewhere. It's a deeply strategic maneuver. It has profound geopolitical undercurrents, and it's really designed to enhance the combat readiness and the deterrent posture of the United States and its partners across the globe. We'll be examining the specific technologies involved and, critically, why their acquisition by such a broad array of nations is so incredibly significant right now.
Okay, let's get right into it then.
Okay.
The $7.8 billion investment, a snapshot of modern military prioritization. And so to truly grasp the scale of this, let's put the investment into perspective first. It was the end of July 2025, the Pentagon makes this huge announcement, $7.8 billion in new missile contracts. So you might be asking, who are the key players actually securing these colossal deals?
Well, the two primary contractors, as you mentioned, are RTX Corporation and Lockheed Martin. Big names. RTX, you might know them better as Raytheon Technologies previously. They secured contracts valued at about $3.5 billion. And Lockheed Martin, another titan of the defense industry, landed an even larger slice, coming in at $4.3 billion. Now, this isn't just about procuring existing systems off the shelf, like grabbing something that's already made. It's about initiating or, in some cases, expanding the production of literally thousands of new missiles. This really signifies a major push to both expand and, crucially, upgrade arsenals, not just for the U.S., but for its allies, too. The sheer scale of this commitment, it immediately tells you that these aren't just minor adjustments to an existing budget. No, these are substantial top-tier allocations of resources aimed at very specific, very critical capabilities for the immediate and, well, the long-term future.
And we heard about this publicly when? August 4th, 2025. It came directly from Zita Ballinger-Fletcher, who's a military historian with a really strong background that lends credibility here. I mean, she served as an editor for Military History Quarterly and Vietnam magazines, held the historian post for the U.S. Drug Enforcement Administration, holds an M.A. with distinction in military history. So this isn't just a headline popping up. It's information coming from someone deeply informed, a highly credible source within that defense reporting landscape.
Precisely. And her reporting, it really underscores the rapid pace at which these critical defense procurements are being formalized and then, disseminated to the public. That $7.8 billion figure isn't just a number. It powerfully underscores the strategic agency behind modernizing missile capabilities. And that's for both offensive strike and defensive airspace protection. Consider this. The RTX contract for the AMRAAM, that's the Advanced Medium Range Air-to-Air Missile, well, it's reportedly the largest in that specific program's history. So this isn't just a routine order, right? It's a strong emphasis on the enduring importance of air superiority and the continuous need to upgrade the tools that enable it. An investment like this signals a clear long-term commitment to these particular missile systems and their vital role in future military operations. And again, not just for the U.S., but for its allies as well. It's a very clear message about which capabilities are seen as most vital in the current, increasingly complex global security environment.
So it's definitely more than just a massive financial outlay. It reflects a deliberate, significant enhancement of military strength. It sort of sets the stage for how militaries might operate and, maybe more importantly, deter potential threats in the coming years. It's a statement about where the Pentagon sees the critical priorities lying.
The advanced missile systems, unpacking capabilities and purpose. Okay, so now let's turn our attention to the real stars of this $7.8 billion show, the advanced missile systems themselves. We're talking about the AMRAAM, the JASSM, and the LRASM. Can you walk us through what each of these brings to the battlefield? What makes them such high-priority investments right now?
Absolutely. And each system, it addresses distinct critical operational needs. They significantly enhance military capabilities through their versatility, their precision, and the strategic advantages they offer. They really represent the cutting edge of missile technology today, designed to tackle a diverse array of threats across different domains, air, land, and sea. Understanding their individual strengths helps us truly grasp the comprehensive nature of this massive investment AMRAAM, Advanced Medium Range Air-to-Air Missile, the Air Superiority Enabler.
Okay, let's start with the AMRAAM. AIM-120 is commonly known. You mentioned its critical role in air superiority. What makes this air-to-air missile so indispensable for modern air forces, and why is its latest contract the largest in its history? That seems significant.
Right. The AMRAAM, the AIM-120 specifically, it's often characterized as flexible, powerful, and relatively lightweight for what it does. Its flexibility is absolutely key. Why? Because it can be equipped by a wide range of warplanes for air-to-air combat. We're talking compatibility across various fighter jets, F-15, F-16, F-A-18, F-22, the F-35, even European jets like the Eurofighter Typhoon and the Saab Gripen. This broad integration makes it a near universal tool for maintaining air superiority. And for any air force, controlling the skies is fundamental. It's the precondition for basically all other military operations, whether supporting ground troops, delivering precision strikes, or conducting reconnaissance. The AMRAAM allows pilots to engage enemy aircraft effectively, often far beyond visual range, or BVR. That's critical in modern aerial engagements where you want to neutralize threats before they even become visible, ideally. This is achieved through its active radar seeker. It guides the missile independently once launched, allowing the launching aircraft to basically launch and leave, disengage, or target another threat immediately. But its utility certainly doesn't stop there. It also boasts a ground launch capability for air defense. Now, what does that mean? It means it can protect vital assets and personnel from aerial threats from the ground. So imagine a mobile air defense unit, maybe something like the JASSM system, that's the Norwegian-American Advanced Surface-to-Air Missile System equipped with AMRAAMs. Such a unit could rapidly deploy to protect, say, a forward operating base or critical civilian infrastructure like a power plant, maybe even a major city from incoming enemy aircraft or cruise missiles. This dual capability air-to-air and surface-to-air significantly expands its strategic value. It's designed to excel across a wide variety of altitudes, from very low-flying targets, think cruise missiles hugging the terrain, up to those at high altitudes. And it can intercept elusive targets like agile fighter jets or even some types of drones and cruise missiles. This makes it a critical asset for both offensive air operations, where you're seeking to eliminate enemy aircraft, and defensive air operations, where you're protecting your own airspace and ground assets. Its ability to perform effectively across such diverse operational parameters is really what makes it indispensable.
That versatility really does sound like having a multi-tool for air combat and defense. So it's not just about what an individual fighter jet can do, but how an entire air defense architecture can be built around this one very capable missile, JASSM, Joint Air-to-Surface Standoff Missile, the Precision Long-Range Striker. Okay, moving on to the JASSM, that's the Joint Air-to-Surface Standoff Missile. This one sounds like it's built for very specific, maybe higher stakes scenarios. What kind of punch does this cruise missile pack? And what makes its standoff capability so critical in modern warfare?
The JSSM is indeed a formidable long-range cruise missile. Very capable. It's capable of traveling over 500 nautical miles, that's about 925 kilometers, in its standard configuration. And there's an extended range variant, the JSFM-ER, that pushes that out to over 1,200 miles. Now, this standoff capability you mentioned, it's incredibly important. It allows for strikes against heavily defended targets from a safe distance, drastically reducing the risk to the launching aircraft and their crews. In modern warfare, minimizing risk to manned platforms while still delivering decisive strikes is, well, it's paramount. And the JSSM excels at this. Aircraft like the B-1B bomber, F-15E, F-16, F-A-18, even stealth platforms like the F-35 and the B-2, they can launch these missiles far from enemy air defenses. That means they don't have to fly directly into contested airspace, thereby protecting invaluable human pilots and very expensive technological assets. Its accuracy is exceptional. It features a robust GPS system that's highly resistant to jamming. This ensures it hits its mark even in environments where adversaries are actively trying to disrupt navigation signals through electronic warfare, or EW. This jamming resistance is a crucial technological advantage, especially in a contested electromagnetic spectrum where systems are constantly being challenged. How does it do that? Well, through advanced signal processing, multi-constellation GPS receivers, and it has an inertial navigation system backup that helps it maintain its trajectory, even if GPS signals are temporarily lost or spoofed. And it delivers approximately 1,000 pounds of penetrating blast power with pinpoint accuracy. This makes it highly effective against hardened ground targets, think deeply buried bunkers, fortified command centers, hardened aircraft shelters, or maybe reinforced bridges. Targets that would be difficult, maybe even impossible, to destroy with less precise or less powerful munitions. Furthermore, its low-profile design is ideal for stealth attacks. It makes it very difficult for adversaries to detect and counter with their radar or other sensor systems. This low profile is achieved through a specific shape that minimizes its radar cross-section and the use of special radar-absorbing materials in its construction. This stealth capability ensures that these precision strikes can be delivered effectively against high-value ground targets without, tipping off the enemy beforehand, preserving the element of surprise. So the combination of long-range, extreme precision, penetrating power, and stealth. It makes the JSSM a truly formidable weapon for neutralizing critical enemy infrastructure and military assets from a position of relative safety. It fundamentally changes the calculus for military planners. It allows them to consider targets previously deemed just too risky to engage directly.
Right, so it's all about striking hard and, crucially, undetected from a safe distance. That makes it a vital asset for deep penetration strikes against key strategic targets. It really redefines what safe distance even means in modern air-to-surface warfare. See, LRASM, Long-Range Anti-Ship Missile, the next-generation naval weapon. And finally, the LRASM, that's the Long-Range Anti-Ship Missile, designed specifically for maritime targets. Now, the Navy has hailed it as a next-generation offensive anti-surface weapon. What truly elevates this to a next-generation status, this seems interesting, given its subsonic speed. You'd think speed is everything.
That's a great point. The LRASM is indeed purpose-built to destroy maritime targets, ships and vessels. What makes it cutting edge is its ability to target these vessels from well beyond the range of opposing fire, just like JSSM's standoff capability, but for the sea. This significantly enhances safety for the launching platforms, whether that's an aircraft like a B-1B or an FA-18, or even a surface ship like a destroyer or cruiser. It drastically mitigates the risk for naval forces operating in contested waters, allowing them to engage powerful enemy fleets without putting their own ships or aircraft in immediate danger of return fire. This beyond visual range engagement capability, it represents a significant leap forward in naval warfare. It forces adversaries to defend against threats they can't easily see or counter with their close-in defensive systems. Now, about the subsonic speed, you're right, it might seem counterintuitive in an era where everyone's talking about hypersonic weapons, but its true advantage lies less in raw velocity and more in its ability to penetrate sophisticated air defense systems. It's not just about speed, it's about intelligent evasion and survivability against advanced defensive measures ships might have. So the Navy's description of it as a next-generation offensive anti-surface weapon really highlights its advanced capabilities beyond just being a fast missile. It's about its ability to actually get to the target and deliver its payload despite layered modern countermeasures. This is a significant shift, really, from older anti-ship weapons that focused mainly on speed. It emphasizes that intelligence and evasion now often trump raw velocity in these highly contested maritime environments. It's less about outrunning a defender and more about, outsmarting them. And a particularly fascinating feature tying into that intelligence is its semi-autonomous nature and intelligent navigation. After launch, it doesn't just blindly follow a pre-programmed path. It can actually change direction. It can maneuver with precision, adapting to the target's movements or countering defensive measures. It detects things like electronic warfare, jamming, or defensive fire from enemy ships. This autonomous capability provides a significant advantage in dynamic naval warfare environments where targets are constantly moving, trying to evade, trying to defend themselves. The missile can essentially think for itself, adjust its approach to maximize its probability of hitting the target, making real-time tactical decisions on its own. This reduces the need for constant human intervention or guidance after launch, making it a highly effective weapon in complex maritime scenarios where target data might be incomplete or evolve rapidly. It truly redefines what an anti-ship missile can achieve by incorporating a remarkable level of tactical intelligence.
That really does sound like a game changer for naval operations, allowing for strikes that are both safer for the launching platform and more effective against even the most well-defended maritime targets. The level of autonomy and intelligence built into these systems is, frankly, quite remarkable. 3. Global reach. Strategic distribution to international allies. Okay, so it's clear these missiles are incredibly advanced pieces of technology. But what makes this particular deal so globally impactful isn't just what the U.S. is acquiring for itself, but who else is getting them. Can you detail the broad coalition of international allies receiving these systems? This widespread distribution seems like a really key element of the Pentagon's overarching strategy here.
It absolutely is. This widespread distribution is, as you put it, a cornerstone of the Pentagon's strategy to bolster global security. Both the U.S. Air Force and Navy will, of course, utilize these systems, and that alone represents a significant modernization for their own forces, make no mistake. However, a substantial portion is indeed earmarked for a whole host of international allies across Europe, Asia, and the Middle East. So this isn't just about equipping American forces. It's very deliberately about building a robust, interconnected defense network globally. The underlying idea seems to be enhancing collective defense capabilities and promoting shared security interests among partner nations, ensuring they possess the necessary tools to stand strong alongside the U.S., and crucially, deter potential aggression by presenting a united and formidable front. AMRAAM recipients, a broad allied coalition, right? So the AMRAAM, given its immense versatility and critical role in both air superiority and air defense, is being supplied to an incredibly extensive list of nations. It's quite the list. In Europe, this includes numerous NATO nations. We're talking the United Kingdom, Germany, Denmark, Hungary, Belgium, Spain, the Netherlands, Lithuania, Poland, Sweden, and Finland. This significantly strengthens the collective air defense and air combat capabilities of the NATO alliance across its entire operational theater, really. From Western Europe right up to the vital Baltic states and the strategically important Nordic region. These are all critical strategic areas where robust air capabilities are just paramount for effective deterrence and defense, especially given the evolving security landscapes we're seeing. And notably, Ukraine and Switzerland will also receive AMRAAMs. The inclusion of Ukraine is particularly significant, obviously, given the ongoing geopolitical tensions and active conflict in the region. Providing them with enhanced air defense capabilities, especially the ground-launched variant of AMRAAM used in systems like NASAMS, is crucial for defending their airspace and critical infrastructure against aerial threats. It directly augments their ability to counter Russian air power and cruise missile attacks. Switzerland, while traditionally neutral and not a NATO member, also demonstrates a strategic interest in enhancing its own air defense posture, which signals perhaps a broader concern for regional aerial threats even beyond the immediate conflict zones. Then, moving to the Indo-Pacific region, key allies Australia, Japan, and Taiwan will be equipped with AMRAAMs. This is vital for air defense and air superiority in a region that continues to see increasing strategic competition and serious concerns over maritime and territorial disputes. For Taiwan specifically, AMRAAMs augment their critical air defense layers against potential aerial incursions. It enhances the sort of porcupine defense strategy by making any air superiority campaign significantly more costly and complex for a potential aggressor. For Japan, it bolsters their capabilities to secure their vast airspace and maritime approaches. And in the Middle East, Israel and Kuwait are also set to acquire them, further bolstering security and defense capabilities in another strategically critical region where air dominance is a constant, ongoing concern. The sheer breadth of this distribution really highlights a global strategy to empower allies with essential, highly capable air warfare tools.
Wow, that's an incredibly diverse group of nations spread across such critical strategic areas. It certainly signifies a very deliberate and expansive strategy, equipping allies not just with weapons, but with truly integrated air defense capabilities. JASSM and LRASM recipients, enhancing key partners' strike capabilities.
Exactly. Now, for the JASSM and LRASM, the distribution is slightly more focused. This reflects the specialized nature of these weapons, long-range strike and anti-ship capabilities, but it's equally strategic in its targeting. These advanced systems will be sent to allies including Poland, the Netherlands, and Finland, all NATO nations, mind you, as well as Japan and the Indo-Pacific. The choice of these particular allies for these specific capabilities, JASSM and LRASM, it reflects highly specific regional strategic needs. For Poland, the Netherlands, and Finland, who are all NATO members and strategically located in Eastern Europe and the Baltic Sea region, while acquiring JASSM significantly enhances their ability to conduct long-range ground strikes. This capability adds a formidable deterrent against potential threats, allowing them to hold high-value adversary targets at risk from a safe distance. For instance, Poland's acquisition of JASSM extends its potential strike range deep into areas that might otherwise feel secure from conventional attack. That complicates any adversary's operational planning significantly. Similarly, the LRASM acquisition for these nations, particularly considering Finland's extensive coastline, is crucial for modern naval warfare. It enables them to project power and defend their maritime interests in sea lanes from a distance against potential naval aggression. And similarly, for Japan, acquiring JASSM and LRASM directly directly addresses critical strategic needs in the Indo-Pacific, particularly given the growing focus on maritime security and the potential for long-range ground threats in that theater. The LRASM in particular is vital for Japan's naval defense and its ability to protect its extensive maritime interests and critical supply lines, especially in disputed waters. And the JSFM provides Japan with enhanced precision strike capabilities against land targets, which could be critical in a variety of conflict scenarios, maybe defending remote islands or neutralizing staging areas. So the distribution is far from random. It's meticulously tailored. It's about strengthening specific capabilities exactly where they are most needed to address unique regional security challenges and, by extension, contribute to a stronger collective defense posture overall. It's really about leveraging these advanced tools to fill specific strategic gaps for key partners.
So the distribution is indeed tailored then, strengthening specific capabilities where they're most needed to address distinct threats and contribute to broader regional stability. It's almost like a strategic surgical strike of military hardware distribution. IV, geopolitical implications and deterrence.
The ripple effects. Okay, beyond the sheer numbers and the, impressive technical specifications of these weapons, what are the overarching geopolitical implications of these expanded missile sales? How do they fundamentally reshape the global security landscape? This seems to be where the true strategic impact of this $7.8 billion investment really comes into focus, doesn't it?
You're absolutely right. This procurement and distribution strategy, it carries several profound implications that go far, far beyond just military hardware. It's about shaping alliances. It's about influencing strategic calculus and defining the balance of power in key regions around the world. These are long-term investments, really, in global stability, meticulously designed to address current tensions and also prepare for future challenges, mainly by raising the potential cost of aggression for anyone considering it. A reinforcement of alliances and partnerships. Right. So providing advanced weaponry like these missiles to such a broad coalition of allies, it directly reinforces and significantly strengthens military alliances and security cooperation across crucial geopolitical regions. When the Pentagon awards contracts not just for its own forces, but explicitly includes, as they said, a host of international allies across Europe, Asia, and the Middle East, it sends a powerful, really unambiguous message. It signals a deeply shared commitment to collective defense and mutual security interests. This isn't just about, giving allies weapons off the shelf. It's about deepening strategic ties, building trust, and ensuring that partners have the necessary cutting-edge tools to stand strong alongside the U.S. in confronting shared threats. And this type of sophisticated arms transfer, it fosters greater interoperability and shared strategic objectives. It creates a more cohesive and formidable international security apparatus. It means that in a crisis, these nations are not just theoretically aligned on paper, but are practically equipped to operate together with advanced, standardized, or at least highly compatible systems. Think about joint exercises where Polish, Dutch, and Finnish forces, now equipped with JSSMs, can coordinate long-range strikes perhaps as seamlessly as their U.S. counterparts might. This strengthening of alliances through tangible military capabilities is a core component of U.S. foreign policy and defense strategy, especially in an increasingly complex and interconnected global environment where threats are often transnational. It reassures allies of continued U.S. support and, maybe more importantly, demonstrates a united and formidable front to potential adversaries.
That's a really clear message of solidarity and commitment then, isn't it? It shows that these alliances aren't just on paper or limited to diplomatic statements. They're actively being reinforced with cutting-edge integrated capabilities that mean business. B, enhancement of deterrence and defensive capabilities.
Exactly. And equipping recipient nations with these sophisticated munitions significantly enhances both their individual and, more powerfully, their collective defensive and offensive capabilities. This, in turn, serves as an incredibly powerful deterrent. Let's just quickly recap the specific capabilities again. The AMRAAM dramatically enhances air defense and air superiority, making it far harder for an aggressor to achieve air dominance or conduct successful aerial incursions. The JASSM provides precision, long-range strike capabilities, meaning that high-value ground targets, even those deep within an adversary's territory, are potentially vulnerable from afar. And the AMRAAM boosts anti-ship warfare capabilities, crucial for controlling vital maritime environments and protecting naval assets. So, by bolstering their capacity for self-defense and, in some cases, projection of force, these sales directly contribute to regional stability. Or at least that's the goal. The presence of such advanced weapons fundamentally changes the cost-benefit analysis for any potential aggressor. It makes military adventurism a far riskier proposition. For instance, the sales to Taiwan and Japan in the Indo-Pacific are particularly relevant given ongoing geopolitical tensions in that region. They add significant layers of defense and offensive potential that could severely complicate any invasion scenario planning. Similarly, the provision of these missiles to Ukraine, Poland, and Finland in Europe comes at a time of, well, heightened regional instability. These sales provide these nations with critical tools to defend their sovereignty and deter further aggression by making any military action potentially incredibly costly for the aggressor. The underlying idea is that a well-armed, highly capable ally is less likely to be targeted, thereby potentially preventing conflicts before they even start, or at least preventing them from escalating out of control.
Right. So it's about making potential adversaries think twice, effectively raising the bar for military adventurism by significantly increasing the potential costs and risks of any aggressive action. But does this also raise concerns about fueling an arms race? I mean, what kind of countermeasures or responses might we expect from nations like Russia or China seeing these enhanced capabilities pop up in their neighborhoods?
That's a crucial question, and it's always part of the equation. While the primary intent stated is deterrence and stability, any significant arms transfer like this can indeed invite a response. It's a natural reaction. For example, in response to enhanced capabilities in NATO states, particularly those bordering it, Russia might continue to invest heavily in its own advanced air defense system. Think S-400, or maybe even accelerating the deployment of the forthcoming S-500 system, specifically designed to counter stealthy cruise missiles like JASSM. They might also accelerate development of their own long-range precision strike capabilities to match or, they hope, exceed the perceived threat. Similarly, China, observing LRASM sales in the Indo-Pacific, particularly to Japan and potentially others, they could double down on developing sophisticated anti-accessory denial A2AD strategies. That could mean deploying more advanced land-based anti-ship missiles or investing further in integrated air and missile defense networks to protect their naval assets and project power outwards. This dynamic creates a continuous cycle of innovation and counter-innovation. It's action-reaction. It means that while these sales might enhance immediate deterrence, they also contribute to a long-term strategic competition where both sides are constantly seeking technological advantage. And yes, that can indeed feel like an accelerating arms race. It's a very delicate balance between reassuring allies and potentially stimulating a response from competitors.
That's a vital distinction. So the picture isn't just about bolstering allies, it's also about managing the complex reactions it inevitably generates in the broader geopolitical sphere. It's never simple. C. Promotion of interoperability.
Right. And there's another consequence, maybe less flashy but critically important, that's often understated. Interoperability. Providing the same types of advanced missiles to both U.S. forces and its allies fosters greater interoperability and standardization among their respective militaries. This is huge. When multiple nations operate the same weapons systems, or at least highly compatible ones, it dramatically streamlines things like training, maintenance, and logistical support. Imagine the commonality of spare parts, the shared technical expertise that can develop, or just the ease of integrating these systems into joint command structures. This commonality facilitates more seamless joint operations and coordinated responses in coalition efforts. Think about complex multinational exercises, or even, heaven forbid, real-world scenarios. Different nations' forces can effectively integrate their missile systems in targeting data. For instance, an F-16 from Poland, an F-35 from the Netherlands, and maybe a U.S. Navy destroyer could all potentially use the same type of missile, or at least missiles that integrate seamlessly into a shared operational picture. This allows for shared targeting information in real time. That's a significant strategic advantage in international security contexts. It streamlines command and control, improves overall effectiveness, and crucially, reduces friction in complex multinational environments. It means that allied forces can truly fight as one integrated force, rather than just a collection of separate militaries operating side by side. That significantly enhances the collective strength and responsiveness of these alliances far beyond just the sum of their individual parts. This commonality really is a force multiplier, making coalition efforts much more potent and efficient.
That seems absolutely crucial for any kind of coordinated global response. Ensuring that allies can truly fight as one integrated force rather than just a collection of separate militaries. It makes the alliances much more potent in practice, not just on paper, by removing those technical and logistical barriers. Broader defense innovation context and future outlook. Okay, so this $7.8 billion deal, it's not happening in a vacuum, is it? It really feels like part of a larger ongoing wave of defense innovation that's actively transforming how militaries operate across the board. What other developments are happening around the same time that reflect this broader push towards modernization? How do they fit into the bigger picture alongside these missile contracts?
That's exactly right. These missile contracts are a key piece, yes, but by no means the only piece, of a continuous modernization effort across multiple domains. It reflects a holistic approach to maintaining a technological and strategic edge. The defense landscape is rapidly evolving, and we see other significant developments on the timeline right around this period that highlight this broader push. For instance, there is a new Vulcan rocket. It's slated to fly its first military mission from Cape Canaveral Space Force Station in Florida, pending range approval, on August 12, 2025, just days after this missile news broke. This highlights crucial advancements in space launch capabilities, and those are absolutely critical for national security today. Secure and reliable access to space is fundamental for everything from secure military communication and precise navigation, think GPS, for guiding missiles like JASSM to early warning missile detection and advanced surveillance systems. A new, capable rocket like Vulcan means an enhanced ability to rapidly deploy and replenish space-based assets, which are increasingly integral to planning, targeting, and executing modern military operations, very much including missile strikes. Furthermore, looking ahead to the fall, companies like Joby and L3 Harris plan to begin flight tests for autonomous aircraft designed specifically for defense missions. They're aiming to demonstrate operational capabilities in government exercises by 2026. This signals a strong, accelerating move towards uncrewed systems, specifically in the aerial domain. Think advanced drones. Autonomous aircraft can perform dangerous reconnaissance, logistical support, or even combat roles without putting human pilots at risk. They can operate for longer durations or in environments too hazardous for manned flight. This is a clear indicator of the future trajectory of air warfare, emphasizing automation and remote operation. And you can imagine, eventually, these autonomous platforms might be launching advanced missiles like the JASSM or LRASM, extending their reach and reducing risk to pilots even further. And also, within the next year, from August 2025, the Space Force plans to launch its initial ground-moving target indicator satellites, or GMTI satellites. That's according to LT General Deanna Burt. This indicates enhanced surveillance and tracking capabilities from space. Imagine having a near real-time overhead view that tracks vehicle movements on the ground across vast areas. This capability provides unprecedented real-time intelligence for commanders. It dramatically improves targeting accuracy for systems like the JASSM, enhances reconnaissance, and provides overall situational awareness, enabling faster, more informed decisions on where and when to deploy these advanced missiles. Even smaller satellite companies like Millennium Space Systems, they're expecting to double their vehicle production next year. They apparently have a significant backlog for the next 4 years, with at least 70 spacecraft planned. This reflects robust growth in space-based assets, particularly smaller, more agile satellites often deployed in large constellations. This proliferation means increased resilience, redundancy, and specialized capabilities in space, supporting everything from secure communications for missile command and control to advanced reconnaissance for military applications. This decentralization makes it harder for adversaries to disrupt space-based operations, ensuring continuous support. And critically, underlying all this, we see leadership throughout the defense industry emphasizing constant innovation. Eric Fox from Elbit America highlighted this recently. He discussed the continuous need for new approaches and technologies just to stay ahead of evolving threats. This isn't just about purchasing existing technology off the shelf, it's about fostering an entire ecosystem of innovation that consistently pushes the boundaries of what's possible in defense. It underscores a mentality of adaptability and forward thinking, recognizing that the nature of warfare is constantly changing and requires continuous technological evolution. So, these missile contracts, they're a tangible outcome of this broader push, showing a commitment not just to current capabilities, but to actively shaping the future of defense.
So yeah, these missile contracts are definitely a key piece of a much larger, incredibly complex puzzle. It reflects a comprehensive strategy to maintain a technological edge across air, land, sea, and even space. It's a multifaceted approach to security that integrates everything from rockets to satellites to autonomous aircraft, all ideally working in concert. Final thoughts and call to action. So, what we've analyzed today is a clear, multi-billion-dollar commitment by the Pentagon, a commitment to modernize its arsenal and, crucially, to enhance the combat readiness and the deterrent posture of the United States and its allies globally. These aren't just weapon systems, they are instruments of strategy, instruments of diplomacy, really, designed to shape the geopolitical landscape for years to come.
Absolutely. The significant investment in these advanced air-to-air, long-range land strike, and anti-ship capabilities, especially distributing them to key partners, It signifies a robust, forward-looking approach, an approach to preparing for diverse conflict scenarios across multiple domains. It fundamentally underscores the continued critical importance of alliance networks in global security strategy, particularly as the geopolitical landscape continues to shift and new, complex challenges keep emerging. And that emphasis on interoperability and shared capabilities truly means that the collective strength of these allied nations is intended to be far greater than just the sum of its individual parts.
So, as you, our listeners, consider the implications of these developments, maybe think about how this kind of strategic distribution of advanced military technology might not only reshape regional power balances, but also how it might profoundly influence the calculus of potential adversaries in the coming years. Does the widespread adoption of these sophisticated systems truly lead to a more stable world through enhanced deterrence? Or could it, perhaps inadvertently, accelerate a more intense and costly arms race, pushing the boundaries of military technology even further? That's a question that definitely bears watching. And the answers will likely define the nature of future conflicts, or indeed maybe their prevention. We certainly hope this analysis has provided you with some valuable insights today. Thank you for joining us on the Global WarWatch Network. If you found this discussion insightful, please do take a moment to like, share, and subscribe to the Global WarWatch Network. We truly appreciate your support. It helps us keep doing this, and we really want to hear from you. Share your thoughts in the comments section below. What do you think about this massive deal? And join us on social media. All the links you need are provided in the description. Your engagement helps us continue to bring you these kinds of analyses. Thank you again for your time and participation.